What's up, everybody? It's What the Gym, and then joined by Jason The Old Millennial again. And this time we're ranking our top 5 moments of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, aka the MCU. How are we doing, Jason? You looking forward to this?
Good. Yeah, it's good to be back on a live stream again. Always enjoy doing that.
Yeah, it's great to have you on for a new year, 2023. First collab live stream I've done for this year so far. And I've got Jason's channel in the description below. Highly recommend to subscribe to him. Do you have any what videos do you have lined up, Jason?
Well, I need to do ranking Beatles. I was planning on doing it Thursday, but I got too busy, so I still need to do a ranking all the Beatles songs. So I got a video I think I'm gonna make today for that. Then tomorrow I'm gonna be on Sound Lab Studios channel with Breyer is gonna be on there. We're gonna rank all 5 Simon and Garfunkel albums on there.
Yeah.
So that should be good tomorrow.
Yeah, I've actually done my own video ranking their 5 albums. Yeah, I look forward to watching that live stream. And I've got a ranking video coming Tuesday, being ranking all the coloured vinyl in my collection.
All the what?
Thursday, I'm ranking all my coloured vinyl.
Colored?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Thursday, I'm going to be doing a Beatles thread. So look forward to doing those videos coming up. Right now, we're doing a live stream, so I guess whenever you're ready, Jason, you could begin your number 5.
Number 5?
Moments of the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
All right. For number 5, I went with a scene from Guardians of the Galaxy. It's the prison breakout scene where they're all got Star-Lord, Rocket, Groot, and Gamora. Or not? Is it Gamora?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They're all captured, and they're kind of meeting each other for the first time. They're not friends yet. They're really not getting along necessarily, but they're planning how to escape from this prison that they're in. And Drax also gets involved, who's not really involved with the group yet. But anyways, the group is there, and they're trying to figure out how to get out of the prison. And Rocket's kind of the mastermind of how to get out of prisons. He's kind of a genius when it comes to electronics. I don't know what you want to call it. Inventing, putting things together. I don't know. And so he's coming up with this whole plan on how we're going to get out. And he's describing the plan to everybody and their role in the plan. And as he's describing the plan, Groot decides to because one of the plan is they have to go. He has to grab something from this tower or something. I don't know. And so Groot in the background is already starting to, because he can kind of grow, or he can kind of reach high places. So Groot's already reaching for this one thing, but they're not ready yet. Rocket's still like explaining the plan, and like once we grab this thing, the alarm will go off, and then we'll and all this stuff. And while he's talking, Groot, as an audience, we can see Groot's already going. He's already going too soon, and so you're like, oh no, Groot's starting the plan already, and Rocket has no idea that Groot's doing this behind him. And so it's really funny how he also grabs the thing and the alarm goes off, and Rocket's like, what's going on? And then he looks behind him and he's like, oh no, Groot already started the plan. So he's like, all right, we'll just have to go. It's like, we're gonna have to wing it. And so then it's a great action sequence as well. All the guards come in and they have to fight off the guards. And I love one part of the plan is Rocket tells Star-Lord he has to get this one guy's leg. This one guy I think has like one leg, fake leg or something. And he's like, I need that guy's leg for the plan. And Star-Lord's like, why would you need a leg? But Rocket's like, I just need it, And so he's like, okay. So Star-Lord goes and gets this guy's leg. This poor guy, he only has like one leg or something. Star-Lord grabs his other leg somehow. I can't remember now, but anyway, so this whole action sequence, and I love there's like a great scene where Rocket gets a machine gun.
Yeah,
Someone throws him like a gun, and it's like almost like in slow motion, I think, and he grabs the gun. He goes, "Oh yeah," and,
yeah,
and
it's a
then
great moment. That.
uh, and then the image of him shooting the gun while sitting on top of Groot. Yeah, just a great scene. Just a great visual. Anyways, and then and Drax comes in and helps out, and that's kind of the first time we see the Guardians like working together, I would say, and become the Guardians eventually and become friends. But at this time, they're not friends yet, but they're working together for this whole plan. And then they have to like there's something with the gravity. They have to do something with gravity, so they get inside. I think this in this room, and then everybody else, the gravity goes off, so everybody's floating in the
Oh
air.
yeah, yeah.
I believe. And anyway, so the plan goes. They execute the plan, whatever. And then Star-Lord brings Rocket the leg, and Rocket's like, "You actually got the leg?" Like Rocket was just pranking him the whole time.
Yeah, you didn't need a leg.
Like, what was the look on that guy's face? And it's like, oh man, that's so good. Anyways, but yeah, the whole scene is both comical and a really good action sequence, and kind of is why Guardians of the Galaxy is such a unique movie.
It's definitely my favorite moment from that film. And it was close to making my top 5. Definitely one of my honorable mentions for sure. But yeah, great choice there.
Thanks.
You got Jacob saying what's up, Anna and Jason.
Jacob.
And then Jacob. Also got Abby here. So hey guys, she's on lunch break. She'll be just here for a bit.
All right, Abby.
And Jacob said great idea for a live stream. So many great moments. There are definitely so many great moments.
Yeah.
I'm glad you like the idea for this live stream. And we've got Garrett from number one is always working. That's probably the number one worst.
Yeah, that'd be the worst.
Not, obviously, what about We Are Groot?
That is a great scene.
Yeah, that's definitely a great scene.
Yeah, it's very
Never really thought of that moment, but yeah, it's definitely a great one.
Yeah.
Right, I guess I'll get to my number 5, and it's the airport battle sequence in Captain America: Civil War.
Mm-hmm.
I've always loved that scene. I think it's a very rewatchable moment as well, for sure. I love seeing all of those different characters fighting. It's quite unique seeing heroes fighting heroes. But I think it's done in a very, very excellent way. It's very funny as well, mainly with Spider-Man. I love that he's quoting all these old movies like Star Wars, The Empire Strikes Back.
Uh-huh.
Seeing the giant version of Ant-Man, that's really cool. And when he thinks it's a water truck, it turns out it isn't a water truck after all.
Yeah, it explodes, right?
Yeah. There were so many just really cool looking moments there, and I think the cinematography is really done well in that part, and I love the music as well. The music definitely very good for it. But I love all the action in it. I just think it's a perfect moment from that movie. And in my opinion, it's my favourite moment from Captain America: Civil War.
Mm-hmm.
Although one of the final parts with Iron Man and Captain America fighting towards the end of the film, that definitely was up there. That could have been in my top 5, but for me, it's the airport battle. It's always been my favourite part of that movie. And I found it quite interesting that Black Widow sort of betrayed the team that she was on. But to be honest, I don't think she was really on any team. She was sort of in the middle of both of them, really.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's one of my favourite moments of the MCU. It just made it into my top 5.
Yeah, it's a great scene.
Yeah, definitely.
All right. I'll go with my number 4.
Yeah, I guess you can get to your number 4 now.
All right. Number 4 comes from Captain America: Winter Soldier. And I know I call this the Captain America versus Winter Soldier battle in the overpass. I don't know if it's towards the end of the film, but we see Winter Soldier throughout, and Winter Soldier to me is like maybe my favorite like bad guy henchman or whatever. Even though he of course spoilers for all these movies, but Winter Soldier eventually becomes a good guy actually. But in the movie, he's like a bad guy, and he is so cool. I absolutely love the look of Winter Soldier. With the even with the face mask, and he's got like
Yeah.
cool long black hair, and he's got like this cool black outfit with the metal arm, and he's such a cool character. I actually really like the Winter Soldier as a bad guy. He doesn't talk or anything. He's just cool looking, and he really tough to to fight.
Mhm.
'Cause I think it starts with I believe Captain America, Falcon, whatever, and Black Widow are on the back of this van or something. And Winter Soldier and they're on the highway, and Winter Soldier shows up, and he has like a gun that shoots off some kind of explosive, and Captain America has to kick out the back with the other three using the shield. And then we get Winter Soldier like has a big old gun. He's like shooting off. But then he pulls out like a pistol and is like shooting with that. He's just like really good with weaponry, and we can't see his face because he has the mask on.
Mhm.
Eventually, I mean, we even get like a Black Widow kind of fighting him off. Black Widow can't fight him. He's like too powerful for Black Widow, and he even injures her at one point and is kind of stalking her. But then we eventually get him, and it's kind of this overpass highway thing where eventually he drops down, and him and Captain America have a fight scene, like the first fight scene really they have in the movie. And there's even a bus that gets involved, if I remember right.
Mhm.
And but it's one of the best action sequences I ever saw. I remember watching the first time and just being blown away. The Russo brothers who took over in this movie just to me upped the action so well.
Yeah.
And throughout the whole movie, there's so many great action sequences that I was like, wow, this is like, to me, this was a huge step up from the first Captain America, which to me, the action sequence weren't nearly as well done. But in this one, it was just incredible. I mean, you also have the fight scene in the elevator is also another great scene in that movie.
No, yeah.
But this one I love because when they start doing that, like more hand-to-hand fighting, Winter Soldier brings out like a knife, and he has like the best knife work I've ever seen out of a character. He's like flipping the knife around and catching it and doing all these cool moves. And I was like, and Captain America like really proves himself as like not just a superpowered guy, but a guy that is really good at the hand-to-hand fighting throughout the
Yeah.
movie. And so you see those two going at each other was so cool. And it was a really great fight scene overall. And then we get a big reveal, of course, of who Winter Soldier is, which is a big shock if you don't know who he is,
Mhm.
And so it ends in a really interesting moment anyways. But yeah, I think it's one of the great action sequences throughout the MCU.
It all goes quite quick as well. It's definitely a fast-paced moment for sure. We've got, oh yeah, we've already seen that. You got Mike here saying you're Ivan Jason.
Hey, Mike.
I don't know. The two-time legends. Thank you. What's got Jacob saying you're the top tier moment in the MCU where She-Hulk breaks the fourth wall with Kevin Feige the robot. Well, it was definitely a very unexpected moment.
A lot of trolling on She-Hulk.
The airport scene's one of the best MCU action scenes. I forget the moment where that man enlarges. Yeah, it's a very cool moment. It's caught me off guard.
Yeah.
It's the biggest laugh. And you got the biggest laugh out of me. Nice. We got Brian's music showcase saying, hey everyone. Hello, Brian. And we've got my dad saying, is it too obvious to go for Avengers Endgame? And you'll go through the portal if he's got it right. Well, you have to find out.
See.
You have to find out, Dad. My dad also said the top 5 moments. Anything that doesn't involve Tom Holland. He's acted as more wood in the forest. Yeah, my dad's not a fan of Tom Holland.
I don't know. Avengers Endgame, he has a moment that makes me cry, but yeah.
He did a really great performance in Infinity War as well. And in all his movies, really.
Yeah, No Way Home, I thought he was great, but yeah.
Well, speaking of No Way Home, my number 4 is the Spider Trio, Final Battle, I called it. And it's pretty much the final battle for Spider-Man No Way Home.
Mm-hmm.
And I've only seen this moment once, but I definitely got to watch it again. But it was just so amazing to see all those Spider-Man together after years of waiting for that. And they all interact really, really great together.
Yeah.
And they've got great friendship.
Yeah.
It's great seeing Willem Dafoe as Green Goblin again. He's one of my favourite movie villains. I think he does such an excellent job as a character. It definitely is quite emotional and definitely very fun. I find the battle too. This movie, it's overall an amazing movie, and this is probably the main reason why I think it's an amazing movie. I think the writing's done very well. I love the location for it. I think it's one of the better locations for one of these
Statue of Liberty.
Marvel. Yeah, that's Statue of Liberty. It was great. It was great for it to be there. Overall, just really love the moment. It's definitely one I've got to watch a lot more than once. But it's definitely one of my favorite moments of the MCU.
Yeah, I think that got a pretty big cheer out of the crowd when that happened.
Yeah, it's definitely a crowd pleasing moment.
Oh yeah, when the three kind of show up at the same, or when they're all swinging at the same time, I think that was like probably considered like the greatest moment, probably.
It was all shot very well.
Yeah,
That whole moment. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, great. I agree.
So I guess you're number 3 now.
My number 3, you mentioned, and it's the airport battle scene in Civil War.
Yeah.
Civil War, like you had. Yeah, it's one of the best action sequences, and it's so amazing how they got all these different superheroes together, and they have this big kind of battle. Though they're not trying to kill each other necessarily. I guess I don't know. They're just trying to hurt. Maybe Black Panther wouldn't mind because he's pretty angry, but. I don't know if they're just trying to hurt each other or what, but they're so equally matched. That's just a kind of equal battle between the two groups. And so it's just so, I just love the fact that we got all these great superheroes together in this one scene. It's we always say, like, it's a Captain America movie, but it feels like an Avengers movie almost, because you get almost every Avenger except for maybe the Hulk isn't in here, maybe, or
Thor, yeah.
Yeah, or Thor's not in here, maybe. Yeah.
Yeah, Thor, and I think it's pretty much it.
Yeah, but and then you bring in Spider-Man basically for the first time. You bring in Black Panther is kind of one of his big scenes, kind of getting introduced, and then you get Ant-Man back from the Ant-Man movie, which is kind of cool to see him in here, and they all work together so well, I think. And the battle scene is so cool how they did it, because how they started a certain way, and then they kind of break off, and then they regroup again later in the battle, and then we have this, like, always the big, running towards each other type scene, and they really have this great, running towards each other, and they're really, and then you get all these different, they break off into different single battles that are really interesting. Like Spider-Man goes up against Winter Soldier and Falcon at one point. He also goes up against Captain America at one point, just Spider-Man, Captain America.
He takes the shield. Yeah.
Yeah, that was great when he took the shield.
I believe that.
And then Ant-Man shows up. Yeah. And then Ant-Man, that's the first time we saw Ant-Man grow large, whatever, which was really cool, which I didn't know he could do. And I was like, that was really cool. Yeah, and they had worked together against him. And I even love when Vision goes right through him, because Vision.
Oh, yeah.
And he's like, he went through me, and he's like freaking out. Like, this guy just went right through him. It's a really funny scene, but it's just a really good choreographed scene. I don't know how the Russo brothers did it. I mean, that's amazing. I think directing, like how they're able to have each character have their moment within the battle. It's a big battle within itself, and then little small battles within. And everybody kind of has their cool moments within the battle scene, and like, so it was just really wonderfully made, and something, I don't know, I didn't know could happen, and it's like, wow, that was a really cool scene when I saw it.
Yeah, it's definitely an awesome scene. I think you said it very well there.
Was that your number 4? What was it? Number 5?
That was my number 5.
Yeah, so that was not my number 3. It was your number 5.
A lot of Mike's favourites would involve Captain America.
Yeah.
And you've got Jacob saying that Tom Holland has 2 great emotional moments in the MCU. in Infinity War when he's dusted, and his reaction when Aunt May dies in No Way Home.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Mm-hmm.
I think in Endgame
Yeah.
when Iron Man dies, I thought he gave a great performance. But yeah,
He also thinks that No Way Home responds to this done right.
yeah,
It definitely is, Jacob. Yeah, it definitely is.
that's everything the fans wanted. Yeah.
Right, my number 3 is the Chitauri invasion of the first Avengers film in 2012.
It's such a great scene.
Yeah, the
I
final battle
that one.
for the film. It's got so many iconic moments.
Yeah.
Especially with all the Avengers are all around in like a circle, trying to battle all those Chitauri. And it's great to see Loki in this as well. And all the Avengers have definitely got their time to shine in this part of the film. And it's definitely very funny as well. And Iron Man takes a sacrifice in it, but he doesn't die though. He just makes it. But I just love the way that all the scenes just paced, and it's paced perfectly. And I think the action's done excellently. It's definitely ahead of its time when that came out in 2012. It's hard to believe that was over 10 years ago.
Yeah, it is now.
Time flies. Yeah.
Man.
Yeah, I can watch that moment over and over. I've seen it quite a few times, that final battle. Yeah, it's a really great one.
I forgot to put that on my list, but man, that's such a great scene. Yeah, I I don't know how I forgot it. That's such a monumental scene in the franchise. But yeah, one of the great action sequences. The way it's shot, just amazing.
Yeah, and the way that Loki catches that arrow by Hawkeye. I couldn't believe that when he did it. It was really cool how he did that.
Yeah, I just love how the camera just follows people. It just I don't know how they did it, but that was amazing how it just follows one after another during the battle.
I think a lot of films have tried to pull it off since, but it never does it as great as the Avengers films.
Yeah.
So that's my number 3.
Great pick.
Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely amazing. But yeah. All right, number 2 pick.
Number 2.
Basically going with your pick that you did, which is the Spider-Man No Way Home. That whole last battle sequence, I guess, at the Statue of Liberty. But I thought specifically there's one specific scene within that scene that I was thinking about that it's my favorite moment that tears me up every time I see it. I've seen it maybe 3 times and I just start bawling when I see it.
You know what moment you're on about.
Yeah, it's Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man. MJ, played by Zendaya, is falling off the Statue of Liberty, and Tom Holland's Spider-Man wants to go save her, of course, but he's stopped by one of the villains. And it's just the way you see her falling, and then it closes up on Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man. And man, when I saw that, I was like, you know what's going to happen? And you're like, oh my gosh, he's going to go save MJ. And of course, if you know the significance of that is because of Spider-Man, The Amazing Spider-Man 2, where Andrew Garfield's movie where Emma Stone's playing his girlfriend, not MJ, but Gwen Stacy, I believe. Yeah. And she's falling from like a tower and he has to save her, but he wasn't able to save her. She ended up dying, which is like a huge shock when that happened in Amazing Spider-Man 2. And very emotional moment in that movie. And then Andrew Garfield, his Spider-Man movies ended after that because Disney and Sony like made a deal, I guess, that Spider-Man can be in the MCU. Mm-hmm. So then they did away with Andrew Garfield being Spider-Man, and then he hired Tom Holland, of course, to be the new Spider-Man, to be a new Spider-Man for the MCU. And so it felt like we never got closure for that character. That movie, that franchise is only 2 movies, but it ends on such a sad note that I felt like there should have been a 3rd movie.
Yeah.
In my opinion, for Andrew Garfield. I really wanted the 3rd movie for him to really bring some closure for that character, I guess. I didn't feel like I ever got. And so in that one moment in No Way Home where he got to redeem himself and save MJ, save Spider-Man's girlfriend, just another Spider-Man's girlfriend, but him going and saving her, I mean, I just bawled my head off every time I see that scene because I don't know, it just gets me so emotional to think about, how he wasn't able to save his girl, but he saved, I don't know, it's just such an amazing moment. And I just I just can't believe they did that. And it's like that was such a brilliant idea that they did that, I think.
Yeah, it's definitely an amazing moment. And that particular moment, I don't even remember seeing it when I went in the cinema. I think I must have been having a drink at that part. I think I must have missed that part.
Oh man.
But yeah, it's definitely an awesome moment for sure. But I'll watch the entire movie again at some point. But we got Mike Prodigy that he's given his top
Okay.
5 in no order.
Mike.
With the Spider-Man uniting. Captain America, Captain
Yeah.
Hammer.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Captain America origin story, how he transforms from a wimp to a Greek god. Everyone wishes they could do that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's very cool. And everyone coming through the balls in Endgame, and how Spider-Man got turned to dust. Yeah. And the Thor Ragnarok, Captain America trilogy. Oh, Avengers Power 1 and 2. Spider-Man No Way Home, basically just those movies.
Yeah, all
Yeah,
great.
yeah. How we seen Don't Cry.
I know. I almost cry when I talk about that scene. I have to stop myself from crying.
That's alright. It's definitely a very emotional scene.
Yeah, 'cause I even that's my sister Abby.
Yeah.
I even talked about that scene in front of my sister Abby, and I started crying in front of her. And I felt kind of weird. I usually don't cry in front of my sister, but that was a weird moment. But yeah.
Well, my number 2. It's speaking of sad endings. You got the Infinity War and Wakanda, but it's only sad for the last few minutes of this scene, really. But I love this fight in Infinity War. It's one of the reasons why it's my favorite Marvel movie. I just absolutely love it. I love seeing the Hulkbuster return and just all those heroes just fighting all those enemies, and really cool the way it's done. And I love seeing the way that Thor comes to Wakanda with Groot.
I love that Thor.
Rocket. Yeah, so cool. I think that's probably my favorite version of Thor we got was the one from Infinity War. But it's just all paid off very, very well. And the fighting Thanos, and they're all having their different goes at trying to fight him. And he starts off being in that planet of Titan, but he ends up coming to Wakanda where they're fighting in there. And somehow Thanos is successful. He wipes out half of the universe. And it's a very, very emotional scene when it happens. Especially when Spider-Man goes to dust. And the way he's just hugging Iron Man on. Iron Man just... You can see just the worry on his face. And just very emotional, I think, third out of any movie. And I think the action's done very well, so is the music. It's all paced very well. I don't really have any problems with it.
Yeah, probably the most shocking moment in the MCU.
Yeah, definitely.
That you didn't see coming.
Still kind of shocks me to this day that happened. That's the end they went with.
Yeah, then we had to wait a year for Endgame, maybe, or something.
Yeah, but it definitely paid off Endgame very well.
Yeah, you need that scene to pay off in Endgame. Yeah, like you said, yeah.
Which I think we'll get into that right now. I guess you get to number 1, Jason.
The number 1 scene, yeah. They had maybe the greatest scene I've ever seen, greatest movie experience I've ever had when I watched this in the movie theater for the first time. And it's a very last battle scene with the portals opening up and all the Avengers that got dusted, whatever, got killed, come back through portals. And Yeah, it's the most amazing scene like ever, and so emotional and so gratifying. um, and just so wonderfully done. I mean, there's no better way to end the series. Like this is one of the greatest. I count like from Iron Man to Endgame. I count that as like a whole series to me
Mm.
because Endgame kind of ends a lot of the storylines that starts off in Iron Man, in my opinion. I mean, it ends the storyline for Iron Man, for sure, and Captain America, which are two of the and Black Widow. I mean, some of the biggest members of Infinity War, I guess maybe it was for Black Widow, but or
Yeah.
right, or is that no? That was Endgame.
Cool.
Right,
Yeah, that was Endgame.
that was Endgame. Sorry, I'm getting mixed.
Gamora was Infinity War.
Yeah, yeah, Gamora was Infinity War. That's right. Yeah, so yeah, so that was such a. I mean, and obviously, I mean, so many amazing things to say about that scene. I mean, just that idea that it looks like there's no way we're gonna, the good guys are gonna win. Captain America, just fought Thanos, and Thanos almost killed him in the 1-to-1 battle, and then you see Thanos' army behind him, and you're like, wow, they're like really in a bad shape, and it's really quiet, and then all of a sudden you hear, on your left, which is a callback to Soldier, which is such a great, callback from Falcon. And then all of a sudden, when those portals start opening up, and you realize what's happening,
Amazing.
you're like, "Oh no, they're coming back!" They're like it's hard not to be excited in that scene. In the theater, you can feel it in the theater. We're all just excited. We're like, "Oh my god!" Like this is like the greatest moment ever. And I still watch that scene and I get chills. Like I don't know how. I don't know. You watch that scene, it's just like it does something to you. It's just like
it's hard to get tired of that moment.
no, yeah, yeah. You can't get tired of it. It's just so amazing that the whole like the Russo brothers are just geniuses who came up with that idea. Like yes, this is how you do it. This is how you do it. When you're doing the last movie in a big franchise, you really need to nail it.
Yeah,
And
they definitely did.
And you don't want to be disappointing or it kind of ruins the franchise. And yeah, the Russos totally nailed it. It was way beyond what I expected was going to happen. I had no idea what was going to happen, but when that happened, I was like, yeah, that's just a genius idea, and it works so well. And that moment when they're all coming through, and we see like Black Panther coming in, and we're hearing the Wakanda theme, I think maybe when he comes in or something. Yeah, which is great, and the music's starting to swell up as they're coming in. It starts quiet, the music is swelling up, and everybody comes in, and then we get the dun 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 dun, and then he catches the hammer, and he says Avengers, and then he catches the hammer, and then the music like stops, it's quiet, and he says assemble, and it's like, oh yes, we've been waiting for him to say that line, I think, throughout the series. Avengers assemble. He never said it until that moment, I believe.
No, I think that was the first time. And I might as well continue the discussion because it's my number one as well. Yeah, it's absolutely amazing. You obviously can't fault it. It's a perfect final battle. There's so many amazing things about it. So the amazing fight scenes and just moments and seeing all the characters interact with each other. And Iron Man's sacrifice at the end of it, just yeah, definitely very emotional stuff there.
So,
yeah, it gets me every time.
Yeah,
that particular moment, and seeing Captain America getting Thor's hammer, just that was incredible. And him seeing the line Avengers assemble, that's the best moment of the best moment. Yeah, it's absolutely amazing.
Oh yeah.
Really hard to go wrong with this final battle. It's one of the best final battles and endings of any movie.
Yeah.
In general. Yeah.
It's such a great action scene, yet it's emotional. I cry throughout the scene. Like I almost kind of tear up when they start that scene because I just know what's coming.
Yeah.
It's like tears of joy. It's like not tears of sadness. Like I just have so much joy that I start like kind of tearing up during that. And then
all sorts of emotions. Definitely.
Yeah, when Spider-Man shows up and hugs, or Iron Man hugs him, Like that gets me emotional.
Yeah, you definitely, you could feel the relief there, for sure.
Yeah, so many great moments. And then there's some comedic moments, like I think like Star Lord and Gamora sees Gamora, but Gamora doesn't know who Star Lord is because it's from a different timeline or something.
Yeah.
And so Gamora like hits him, I think, or something, because and
So yeah.
then her sister's and she says, that's the guy I fall in love with or something like that. And the sister says, it's either that or a tree. And it's like,
Yeah, that's what
referring to Groot. I was like, ah, such a funny moment. But yeah,
all the characters definitely have their time to shine.
yeah. How do you do that with so many characters? I just don't know how they pulled that off.
I
Because
don't really think
we
it
never
can't
seen
really
that
be
many characters together, have we?
no, I don't think it will ever be. It can never nail anything like that again. Really,
Like I don't know if DC could ever do anything up to that level, even. But
it'd be very hard to.
yeah,
It's definitely an incredible moment. I knew from when I first saw it, it's my favourite Marvel moment. What Jason in the game finale was epic. It definitely was epic.
yeah,
To say the least. I've never seen a theatre so enthusiastic before or since.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
but was
People
really,
are
really excited with that.
like people are like cheering in the audience, at the theater. Like I've never seen that in a movie before. And also at the end of that, like I said, at the end of that scene, I mean, I can hear I'm crying. I can hear other people crying in the theater. So I'm like, we all felt the same emotions. It was just incredible.
Yeah, definitely. Right, I guess we can get through our honourable mentions if you've got any.
Well, now, gosh, I know there's a lot of great scenes that I'm not thinking of. You mentioned the Battle of New York, the Chitauri scene. That's such a great scene. I didn't put that in my list, but I was like, yeah, man, I don't know how I missed that one. That's so good. Because I feel like I go through probably every movie and probably come up with a good scene, but that's up there. Also, I really love the opening scene in Guardians of the Galaxy 2. I think it's such a brilliant scene
The
where,
song Mr. Blue Sky.
yeah, and Groot is just, we're like, the camera's concentrating on Groot and there's this huge battle behind him, but we're not,
Yeah, it's very cool.
we're watching Groot just dance around. Like, I thought that was just a funny idea of like beginning that movie. Such brilliant, but James Gunn is just like brilliant when he comes to that kind of stuff. But I really love the scene in Avengers: Age of Ultron where Hulk gets bewitched by the Scarlet Witch, whatever,
Oh
and
yeah,
uh, Tony has like this Hulk busting suit,
yeah, Hulkbuster.
Hulkbuster, and they have this big battle. And it's such a fun battle. It's funny. They destroy like a whole building in the battle, and I just love that whole battle sequence in that movie as well. But yeah,
He keeps saying to Hulk, go to sleep.
I love that. Go to sleep.
Yeah, it's
And
very funny.
he punches the Hulk, and like a tooth comes out of the Hulk's mouth, and the Hulk looks back and kind of just grins, like that's the best he
Oh yeah,
got, and he goes, "I'm sorry."
but they caused a lot of damage in that moment.
Yeah. Yeah, a lot of great sequences, but those are the ones I thought of on top of my head. But
I've got some here. I've got all the Stan Lee cameos.
cool
Yeah,
idea.
I love seeing them in all the movies. And that prison breakout scene,
You got that?
which is one that you mentioned, and also the immigrant song scene.
Yeah,
With
that's
Thor, yeah, with Thor's fighting all his enemies in Thor Ragnarok with that song playing. Yeah,
ah,
if we're doing a top 10, that would probably be my number 6. Be very close to being in there.
yeah, that's a great one. It's probably best scene out of that movie.
But I enjoyed in our top 5 MCU moments. I think soon we should do it for the characters.
Yeah, like top character.
Definitely. Yeah.
Yeah,
But
definitely. So many of them.
we went through this fairly quickly, just under 40 minutes.
Yeah, just two of us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But again, I've got Jason's channel in the description below. I recommend to subscribe to him. he's not too far away from 200 subscribers.
Yeah, 177, I think.
You definitely get there soon.
Yeah.
I think I'm on 314, which I'm very pleased about. But I
Is that your
appreciate
goal
everyone.
here?
Yeah, my goal last year was to get 300.
Okay.
I definitely did.
Yeah.
If you've got any favorite moments, you can let us know. Any
Yeah.
comments on this live stream? We definitely like to see what your favorites are. I'm trying to think of any of these favorites, but probably just the entire Thor: The Dark World movie. I'm not a
Yeah.
fan of the film.
Yeah, me either. I hate to say all Natalie Portman scenes. I don't know. I didn't really care for her in the movie.
Yeah, they're definitely very mixed moments
Yeah.
for sure. But I think we might as well leave the live stream here then. It was great. It was great to have you on once again, Jason.
Yep.
Definitely have you on again soon.
Yep.
Probably next couple of weeks.
Yeah. Do we have anything planned yet? I can't remember.
We've got a Jimi Hendrix live stream.
Okay. Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
I've
Yeah.
not played any of those albums, so we'll get to it.
Yeah.
I've heard I've got I think it's the Essential Jimi Hendrix. I've
Okay.
got that album. I was really impressed by it. But yeah, that's definitely a live stream. Me and Jason will be doing soon. Got quite a few live streams planned. I think I've got one of your channels soon as well. Top 10 ELO songs.
Yeah, we need to come up with a date for that. But yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I look forward to doing that. I appreciate everyone watching this live stream, and hopefully everyone has a great rest of the day and week. Until next time, everyone. Thank you for joining, and good night. Bye.
Bye.
Ciao.